Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Ever feel like the world's telling you to stay in your lane?
Hmm.
Well, today we're diving into a memoir that basically screams forget that noise,
Oh, I like that.
right? So, if you're into stories about resilience and defying the odds and all that, this one is definitely for you.
I love those kinds of stories.
Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives like this.
Yes, please do.
Okay, so we are cracking open Becoming Spectacular by Jennifer Jones.
Okay.
You can find a link to it on Amazon in the description below.
Right.
Jennifer was, get this, the first African-American Rockette.
Wow.
Imagine, like, performing at the Super Bowl, on Broadway, all that.
That's incredible.
But her journey, it started long before the bright lights.
I bet.
This memoir, it explores, like, finding your voice, facing
Hmm.
adversity, and ultimately defining what spectacular means to you.
So it's deeper than just like the dance, the performance.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's about life.
Exactly.
Okay, so it all begins in Newark, New Jersey, just after those intense 1967 riots.
Oh, wow.
Jennifer paints a really vivid picture of her childhood, growing up in a city, grappling with, all that racial tension.
I can only imagine.
It's like a stark contrast to the peaceful life her grandparents had over in Rockaway.
You described that contrast so beautifully in the book.
Oh, thank you.
It's almost poetic. How did those different environments, like, shape your worldview growing up?
Well, she talks about the riots and the subsequent white flight having a huge impact on her family, on the whole community,
Yeah,
really.
no, that makes sense.
Many white families moved away,
Right.
which dramatically changed the landscape of her childhood. And then there's the added layer of her parents, right? Being an interracial couple at a time when society wasn't quite ready for that.
It's hard to even imagine the pressure they must have faced back then.
It's true. You even mentioned that your mother's relationship with her own parents was strained because she chose to be with a black man. It's heartbreaking.
It really is. To think about the kind of judgment they endured
Yeah.
just for loving each other. It speaks volumes about the societal norms of the time.
Definitely.
Interracial relationships were still very much a taboo subject.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until the landmark Loving versus Virginia case that the Supreme Court declared laws banning interracial marriage unconstitutional.
Wow, just think about that. That was 1967, the same year as the riots.
Wow, to think that was even an issue. It's a reminder of how far we've come, but also how much work still needs to be done.
Absolutely.
You also shared a really poignant story about being forced to get a haircut as a child.
Oh, yeah.
Your mom wanted you to have a short afro, but for you it was devastating. It felt like a part of your identity was being erased.
Especially, as a biracial child already trying to navigate those complex beauty standards, this experience left a lasting impact on her.
I can see that. It seems like a lot of your early experiences revolved around this idea of fitting in, finding your place, and understanding your identity as a biracial woman in a society that, well, wasn't always welcoming.
Absolutely. And that theme of self-discovery.
Yeah.
It's woven throughout the entire book.
Despite these early hardships, though, you found solace, empowerment in dance.
Mm-hmm.
It all started with a performance of The Wiz on Broadway, right?
That's right. Seeing someone who looked like her on that stage, it planted a seed, It
Yeah.
made her believe that anything was possible. The power of representation, it's so important, especially for young children.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, to see yourself reflected in the world around you,
Totally.
it's powerful.
And you were working a telemarketing job and taking dance classes.
Yes.
Where did you find that drive?
She was determined.
Was there ever a moment you thought about giving up?
Well, she faced a lot of pushback, that's for sure.
Oh, I bet.
Even her own father was skeptical about her passion for dance, and he eventually stopped supporting her financially.
Oh, wow.
She also had a guidance counselor who discouraged her from going to college.
It makes you wonder if there's a racial element to that discouragement.
It's hard not to think about the systemic barriers that were in place at the time.
It's incredible that you didn't let any of that deter you.
But then things took a darker turn, when she moved in with her boyfriend Chris.
Oh, no.
There's a terrifying incident with a cab driver that really shook her.
Reading that part of the book was chilling.
It was a scary situation.
It highlights the vulnerability and danger you faced as a young woman trying to make it in a big city.
Exactly.
Luckily, you managed to escape and went back to live with your mother. But it's clear that experience left a lasting impact on you.
It did. It stayed with her.
It seems like you were running into roadblock after roadblock,
Yeah.
and then, almost by accident, you ended up auditioning for the Rockettes.
It was unexpected, that's for sure.
I mean, you weren't even that familiar with the group at first, but something pushed you to go for it.
Right, something inside her.
And it was a decision that changed everything.
Absolutely.
You landed a spot in the Super Bowl halftime show.
Can you imagine?
I mean, that must have been surreal.
It was a huge accomplishment.
It was.
But unfortunately, it didn't shield you from challenges.
You talk about facing, microaggressions and a dismissive attitude from some within the Rockettes organization.
It wasn't all sunshine and roses.
Right. You even mentioned a PR woman's comment that really stuck with me.
Oh, which one? There were a few.
Well, she said something along the lines of, making sure Jennifer gets extra help.
Oh, yeah, that one.
And then there was the cameraman who kept focusing on you as if you needed more assistance than the other dancers. I mean, how did those subtle but pointed actions, how did they impact you emotionally?
Well, it was clear that despite some progress, the Rockettes, with its history rooted in a time when Black performers were often excluded, it still had a long way to go in terms of inclusivity.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
You even quoted the founder, Russell Markert, saying, if a girl got suntanned and she was alongside a girl who could not get the sun, it would make her look like a colored girl.
And then a choreographer for the group said that having Black dancers would, distract and lose the look of precision.
It's heartbreaking to see that kind of mindset, especially within an organization supposedly striving for diversity.
It's a contradiction, for sure.
So even while achieving this incredible dream, you were confronted with reminders of how much work still needed to be done.
That's the thing about progress, right? It's not always a straight line.
No, it's not.
And then there was that incident where another Rockette wore blackface.
It's hard to fathom that happening, especially within an organization that was supposedly striving for diversity.
Right. But instead of letting it break her, Jennifer drew strength from her heritage and her own determination to prove herself.
And prove yourself you did.
You could see that.
Not just on the field at the Super Bowl, but on the grand stage of Radio City Music Hall.
It's an incredible story.
Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we were talking about the ups and downs of Jennifer's time with the Rockettes.
Yeah, it was groundbreaking, but definitely not without its challenges.
Right. And it's important to remember that her life wasn't just about, dance.
Of course not.
I mean, she was navigating relationships, personal challenges, and finding love amidst this whirlwind career.
Exactly. It's a whole life story. And actually, you met Matt during this time, right?
Right.
And your paths just kept crossing in the most serendipitous ways.
It's true. It was like almost fate pushing us together.
Oh, really? Like, how so?
Well, we kept bumping into each other at different bars and events.
Wow, what are the chances?
I know. And even though, I was hesitant to date at first, I couldn't deny the connection we had.
It sounds like something out of a romantic comedy.
It really was. And then there's that whole Miss Morris County pageant.
Oh, right.
I was never a pageant girl, but with Matt's encouragement,
Yeah.
I decided to just go for it. And I won.
No way.
I became the first African-American woman to hold that title. That must have felt amazing. Breaking barriers, exceeding expectations.
It was a huge accomplishment. Another example of Jennifer defying expectations, proving that she could achieve anything she set her mind to.
And with Matt by your side through it all, your relationship with him, it seemed like a true partnership. You even started a business together, the Jennifer Jones Dance and Fitness Center. Talk about a power couple. But it's interesting because you decided to keep your relationship private to protect the business.
That's right.
You worried people wouldn't take you seriously as a couple. Do you think that decision ultimately helped or hindered you?
It's hard to say for sure, but it definitely makes you think about the pressure they felt to conform to societal norms, right?
That's true. Even with all the success and excitement, life threw you some curveballs. You bravely shared the heartbreaking experience of a miscarriage in the book.
That's such a deeply personal and painful experience, and it's something that so many women go through but often suffer in silence. Jennifer's willingness to share her story, it's incredibly brave.
And as if that wasn't enough, your son was born with pyloric stenosis, a condition that required surgery when he was just a baby.
Oh, wow.
Having a child undergo surgery, it's terrifying. How did you cope with that anxiety while still performing and pursuing your dreams?
It's a testament to her strength and resilience that she was able to navigate those difficult times and still achieve her goals.
And through it all, you were still performing, still chasing your dreams.
Yeah.
But you also detail the growing conflict with Matt, regarding your mother's employment at your restaurant,
Right.
and it eventually led to your divorce.
That must have been incredibly difficult, especially with two young children to care for.
You even share a particularly poignant detail about struggling financially and waking up on Christmas morning with no heat in your apartment. It's a stark reminder that even with all the talent and success, life can throw unexpected challenges your way.
That's for sure. But you didn't give up.
No,
You found a way to keep moving forward, and this is where your Broadway journey begins.
exactly.
You landed a role in the iconic 42nd Street, fulfilling that childhood dream you had after seeing The Wiz.
It's a beautiful full circle moment, isn't it?
It really is.
But even as you were stepping onto that Broadway stage, life kept throwing challenges your way. Your mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and you were still battling the custody arrangements with Matt. Talk about pressure. But through it all, you kept performing, kept showing up for your children, kept being a source of strength for your family, and then something incredible happened. You won a Tony Award,
Wow.
the highest honor in the theater world.
That's unbelievable.
It's a testament to your talent, your dedication, and your ability to overcome adversity.
And that performance at the Tony Awards, it was truly spectacular.
It was.
It's almost symbolic of your whole journey. You know, starting on 42nd Street and ending up on that stage, triumphant.
Winning the Tony Award, it was a dream come true.
It must have been.
But, as you detail in the book, success doesn't always translate to financial stability. You lost your home due to financial strain, struggled to find steady work, and continued to deal with unfair treatment from employers. It's a reminder that success doesn't always mean a smooth path.
Right, and it's during this time that you took on a job working for a demanding CEO and faced discrimination from HR after being diagnosed with colon cancer.
You were diagnosed with cancer again.
Yeah, no, right.
Life just kept testing your strength. But even facing a 5-year prognosis, you never lost your spirit or your determination. You even kept the diagnosis a secret from your children so they wouldn't worry.
That's incredible.
You went through chemotherapy, surgery, the whole grueling process, all while trying to rebuild your life and be there for your family.
And you did it all with grace, with humor, with an unwavering belief that you could overcome anything. It's truly inspiring.
And guess what?
What?
After all of that, you beat cancer.
Talk about a fighter. But your journey wasn't just about survival. It was about learning, growing, and becoming a better version of yourself. That's what makes this memoir so powerful.
I agree.
It's not just about the highs and lows of a career in dance. It's about the human experience, about resilience, about finding your own definition of spectacular. So after all of that, the triumphs, the heartbreaks, the incredible resilience, what do you have to say about it all? What are the lessons you learned from becoming spectacular? What's so powerful, about Jennifer's story is that she doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
She's honest about the challenges, the self-doubt, the moments when she felt like giving up.
Right.
But she also emphasizes the importance of finding your voice, setting boundaries, and embracing vulnerability.
You talk a lot about forgiveness, too.
Yes.
Forgiving those who hurt you, but also forgiving yourself for past mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that was a key part of your healing process.
Absolutely. And she doesn't just talk about it abstractly,
Yeah.
She gives concrete examples of how she learned to cope with difficult emotions.
Oh, like what?
Like giving herself one day to assign blame,
Okay.
to just let all those feelings out, and then waking up the next day determined to find solutions.
I like that.
It's a good strategy.
That's such a practical and relatable strategy.
Yeah.
It acknowledges that it's okay to have those negative emotions, but it also emphasizes the importance of not letting them control you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She also stresses the importance of seeking support, whether it's from friends, family, or a therapist. Having a strong support system is crucial, for navigating life's challenges.
It's a reminder that we don't have to go through tough times alone. There's strength in reaching out and letting people help us.
Totally. One of the biggest takeaways from becoming spectacular is this idea of transforming burdens into fuel for growth. Jennifer talks about how every obstacle, every hardship ultimately made her stronger and more resilient.
It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
But you took it a step further.
Right.
You didn't just survive those challenges.
Yeah.
You used them to propel yourself forward.
That's where the idea of becoming spectacular comes in,
Okay.
It's not about achieving some external measure of success. It's about embracing your journey, your imperfections, and using them to create a life that's authentically yours.
It's about finding your own definition of success not letting society dictate what that should look like.
Precisely. And it's about recognizing that everyone's journey is different. What makes Jennifer's story so inspiring is that she never gave up on herself, even when the odds were stacked against her. So what stood out to you? What
hmm
part of Jennifer's journey resonated the most?
For me, it's her unwavering belief in the power of dreams. She faced so many obstacles that could have easily crushed her spirit, but she never stopped believing that she could achieve something extraordinary.
I think that's what makes this memoir so inspiring. It's a reminder that no matter where you come from or what challenges you face, you have the power to create a life that's truly spectacular.
And that's a message we could all use a little more of these days. If you're looking for a story that will inspire you, challenge you, and leave you feeling empowered, I highly recommend checking out Becoming Spectacular. You can find a link to the book in the description below. And be sure to let us know what you think.
Yes, share your favorite moments, your takeaways, anything that resonated with you. We love hearing from you.
Now for a final provocative thought. Jennifer mentions that everyone carries burdens, and dwelling on them keeps us trapped in the past. How can we learn from her example and transform our own burdens into fuel for personal growth and positive change? That's something worth pondering. Until next time, keep diving deep, keep learning, and keep striving to become spectacular in your own unique way.
See you all in our next deep dive.